What's going on, everybody? We're about to get started in a second, but I'll just send this link out. Then we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, it's October 18th, Tuesday morning, 2022. Going to start looking at these charts, looking at some setups for the day, see if we can get some trades London session. What's going on, everybody? See what Euro New Zealand's up to. So Euro New Zealand, my bias is still going to be buys. Main reason is we kind of made a new high the other day. It's just really struggling to break this level, but still, for the past weeks, it's been showing a clear uptrend. So until it really breaks this lower price around 72.30, then maybe possibly I'll see if the trend's reversing. But as of now, it's still respecting this level as a support. So still going to be looking for mainly buys. As you can see here, multiple days it's been rejecting, failing to break this level, but again, it's respecting this level. So just going to be watching this and seeing what's going on. Euro JPY, the JPY pairs were all pushed up yesterday, so they're all still looking very bullish. So I'm still only going to be looking for buys until it shows me otherwise. I'm going to be waiting for Euro JPY to break above like 146.75, and if it can break above this level of price, then I'm going to see if it can respect that support level, and then we'll go from there. But I am still looking for buys because, as you can see, past few weeks it's been showing a lot of bullish momentum, especially the past few days after it did this retest on top of the support level here. Let me get rid of these lines so you can see what I'm talking about. Let's get rid of this one. We don't need this no more. All right, so you can see there's a clear level of support. Well, support, and then this is a clear level of resistance. A strong resistance can be a strong support. You see price broke through it, laid on top of it, then shot up. So it's still showing very bullish, and you can see price with the rejection wick, and you're showing that it's trying to stay above this level of price. So depending on what it looks like during London session, if it can stay above there and it's still showing that wants to climb up, then I might look for some buys there. Now let's bring this back to 1 because you'll need that thick. But you can literally see on a daily time frame how price is trying to break above this level. So it's definitely possible. And then you can see on the 4 hour how 4, 8, 12 hours it struggled to break through, but now it's starting to break through. So this is going to be the first hour where it's really above it, but we still got 17 minutes left. So let's see if it can close above it, because the past 2 hours it's touched it, but it's closed underneath the level still. So this might be the first hour where it's above it. As you can see on the 15. So I'm going to see what the next 15-minute candlestick looks like. We got 2 minutes until that happens. And then we got 15 minutes until London session starts. We're just going to keep an eye on that. But I am looking for a buy setup. So I'm just going to put this here for now. SL. Could put it underneath this level of price right here. Could put it underneath right here. So about a 50 pip stop loss, which isn't too crazy. Could put it a little bit lower underneath this level if you want, but it's about to be a 1 to 3, about a 1 to 3 risk to reward, which isn't bad. Mainly just want to see it stay above here, but this candlestick is a good sign. It did break above the previous candlesticks. So now I just need to see it stay above it. And I might look for some buys. going on, everybody? Make sure you hit that like button. Now, Euro AUD, I called this trade out, and as you can see, my stop loss was a little too, I don't want to say it was a little too tight, but it barely, as you can see, it barely went past my stop loss. Wicked it, came back up, and eventually hit my TPs. Could have re-entered. I know a few members held the trade, but it did hit my stop loss, so I did close because, especially since it's Monday, I'm not trying to be too greedy or hold the trades too long, but I could have kept holding, but coulda, shoulda, woulda. I didn't do it, so it doesn't matter. So we did take an L on this one, but the trade idea was correct. We just hit SL, which, happens sometimes. So I'm not really tripping about that because I was able to make up for it later on in the day. But as you can see, these harsh rejection wicks up. It's showing it still wants to treat this level as support. You can even see it today. Harsh rejection wicks breaking above, and it looks like it's already starting to make its move. So if it retraces a little bit more, I might, possibly re-enter again to see if it'll finish its move. But for now, just gonna be watching and observing. It's definitely a good sign. You see the rejection wick right on this level of price. Let's zoom in so y'all can see this. Put it right here. It literally touched the line and now it's shooting up. So yeah, it's a little bit too far for me to want to enter. Let's see. Because that 56.26, 56.26. Yeah, I could enter, but I'm just gonna leave it alone for now. See what else is going on. EuroCAD dropped yesterday, which is why there's a rejection wick here. As you see, after it dropped, it's still treating this level as a support level and it's pushing back up. And then also on the daily time frame, you can see that it's slightly bullish. You see it was ranging right here, but after it did this drop, after it hit this level of price right here, as you can see, then it pushed up, started making new highs and new higher lows, and then it came up here, retesting, it's still showing slightly bullish behavior. So depending on what the next candlesticks look like here, might be looking for some buys because there were some other CAD pairs that was pushing up, and there was a few others yesterday that was trying to push down, but into New York session they started to push back up, just like the USD pairs were really bullish yesterday. But speaking of USD pairs, we're going to go over that in just a second because they are at a pretty strong resistance level. So depending on if it can break that level, we might see a slight retracement back down. So it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to be happening there. So we're going to keep an eye on those charts and try to see if we can catch a few pips on that as well. As you can see, I have this level of price labeled off. It was ranging here. You see how it's being treated as support, then the resistance broke back above. And then we have this huge candlestick that broke through this level and broke through this wall. And now you see price stacking on top of this level. So definitely can potentially see a buy setup here. But again, it's still too early to determine that. Going to have to wait to see what the next candlesticks look like to see if that is going to be the case or not. So speaking of JPY pairs, if y'all were in the live stream yesterday, I went over the GJ, talking about how it's still bullish, but also mentioned how it hasn't been up in this level since like 2016. If we zoom out real quick, we can see that it hasn't been up here since 2016. You can clearly say it says January 16, and you see every time it hit this level of price right here, April rejected, harsh rejection, harsh rejection, harsh rejection, harsh rejection. But you can see right here the past few days been showing very bullish, had rejection wicks still pushing up. Then we just had this huge candlestick breakthrough. Now it has a nice level of support it's on top of, as we can see right here on the 4-hour time frame. So depending on what it looks like, might look for another buy here, or I might just look at other JPY pairs, and if they're still bullish as well, might just jump on a trade there. But as you can see, it made a nice little level of support in the middle of the zone, and it's been respecting this so far. And you can see on this current candlestick here how it is pushing up as we speak. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I might just watch it for now, but very interesting. I was able to get into the trade right here, waited for the breakthrough, then waited for the retest, then waited for the confirmation, which was to break the previous level here. And as you see from there, just exploded through and ripped through, floating a profit ever since then. I closed the trade personally after it retraced down to here. And as you see, was a good reason why. A good reason to close, because it didn't really make any new highs after that. Kind of just floated right here at this level, at this level of price. And that's where it's currently at right now. But it looks like it's still going to try to push back up as we can see. So could potentially look for a buy setup here. But I'd rather just look for some other JPY pairs and see what they're doing. But could potentially look for a buy setup here. If it can respect this low at like 168.90, 169-ish range, it definitely can continue to push up and hit the zone again, which the top of the zone is 170, about 170.20. Didn't hit that yesterday, almost hit it, went to 170 yesterday, so definitely can hit that level of price, and looks like it's going to try to. But considering that this is a 4-hour support resistance low and not a daily, you want the stop loss to be a little bit tighter, because you don't want to have it all the way down to where the daily zone is, right? If you want to have the stop loss down there, you might as well wait for price to potentially retrace down here. But if you're trying to go for a buy to see if it's going to continue to push up, you need to understand, like any trade, the risk you're taking. That way you can prepare for it. So the stop loss, I really have it underneath this level here, which is the support level. So you see this low is being treated as support level right here. It's slightly being treated as resistance. So I put the stop loss a little bit underneath this body right here, these bodies of candles. That way you have a little bit of cushion if it does retrace. But that's if you want to enter this. But like I said, it is looking pretty bullish still. You see how it really hasn't gone any lower than this all day, all night. So definitely can continue to push up. But we don't know that for sure until we see the next candlesticks. But we got about 10 minutes until the London session starts. So let's just keep that in mind. And then GBP New Zealand pairs were dropping down yesterday, but as you can see on the bigger time frame, it is still in a uptrend, still very bullish. You can see how it pushed up, broke through this ranging level of traffic, then made a new higher low, then a new higher high. All right, you can see it ranging here, but you see it broke through, hit this level, rejected this level, dropped down, but hit that level, which makes sense because right here you see a harsh rejection wick here, and then you see price struggled to even break this level for a while. And you see price did the same thing here. But as you can see, when it touched this level, we can see another potential rejection wick like we saw this day on Friday, because it's hitting it, is respecting as a support level still. So as long as it doesn't break past this level, definitely still seeing buys for GN. Definitely still seeing buys for GN. So let me keep an eye on that. And then you even see here when price hit it here on Friday, shot back up. So we could definitely see a reenactment of Friday, as long as it doesn't break past this level. We do have a strong resistance level here. Strong resistance can be a strong support. So definitely still going to be looking for buys. So just going to keep an eye on that. It's looking pretty good for now, but still going to wait till London session to see what's going on. But I am looking for buys as of now. Stop loss would be a pretty tight stop loss. Where would I want to put it as the question? Could put underneath this level of traffic right here to give it a little bit of cushion. So I'm looking at about a 1 to 3 risk to reward. Definitely looking at buys. Is retesting this level of traffic right here. I want to see it hit it, and I want to see price come down again, and then possibly look for a buy entry right there. So let me keep an eye on GN. So I'm looking at GN buys, possible GJ buys, Euro JPY buys. If we can stay above this level, it's actually looking very good right now. So depending on what the next candlestick looks like, I might enter a buy, because we do have a nice wall right here, right underneath this zone. And you can see price literally for an hour just laid on top of this level of price and on top of this wall right here. So definitely looking at a buy right there until it shows me otherwise. Yep, so just going to keep an eye on that one. Let's see here. GB cash still showing slightly bullish as well. May or may not enter this. Definitely keeping an eye on it though. As you can see, it's respecting this level. Broke under here a couple days ago, but as you see, it rejected and closed right back on the top of this level of price. So still showing this as a strong support level. Sees a strong resistance level right here. Sees a strong support level right here. And you can see what it's doing currently today. And then you see yesterday it shot up as well. Hit this level of price, wasn't able to go completely zone to zone. Might try to complete the move. It couldn't yesterday. So definitely want to keep an eye on that. Do like how it looks right now. So definitely, depending on what the next couple candlesticks look like, might consider entering a buy for this as well. Stop loss. About to be about a 1 to 3. I do see these wicks right here, so I could just keep that in mind. But for now, I'm just going to keep the stop loss right here. But I am going to keep that in mind. I might put it right here, make it a slight 1 to 2, because I do want to keep those wicks in mind. But I do like how price is looking currently. But I want to wait till the next candlestick to see exactly what's going on. Then we'll go from there. Euro New Zealand's already pushing up. Just going to keep that in mind. Let's see what AUD/JPY is looking like. AUD/JPY is still showing slightly bullish too, looking very similar to Euro/JPY. You see the daily candlestick yesterday, you see the candlestick from today, and then let's just go to Euro/JPY, and we'll see the exact same thing. All right, huge daily candlestick yesterday, new candlestick starting right where it left off and continuing to push up. So yeah, all the JPY pairs are looking very bullish right now, but this is a strong level support and resistance. So if it can break above it, definitely will be looking for buys. Let's go back to these though, because we got a few minutes before when this session starts. It looks like it's already shooting up. So I want to see what the next candlestick looks like. I want to see a slight retracement so I can get a better entry, because we do have a wall of price right here. So I want to see how it reacts to this wall right here. Let me turn it a different color. So I want to see how it reacts to this wall right here. I want to see it reject a little bit so I can get a better entry, but it's definitely pushing up. But that's most of the JPY. I mean, that's most of the GBP pairs right now are pushing up in general. See what GA is up to. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave GA alone. It is slightly pushing up. It's on top of this level of price, but I'm just gonna leave that one alone. GPCHF is pushing up a little bit. Yeah, GBP CAS pushing up. So it's got this wall right here. So same thing. It's looking good. So we got 3 minutes until London session starts. So I want to see if the next candlestick will retrace a little bit off this wall right here. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. Whoops. My thing almost crashed on me. Well, my thing glitching out. Give me 1 second, y'all. My computer's spazzing out. All right. I don't know what that was, but it's working now. So we got this nice little wall right here. So I want to see this next candlestick retest a little bit so we can get a nice little entry on it. But it can definitely break through this wall right here. Definitely do see that happening. So going to be waiting for this next candlestick that's about to pop up in about 1.5 minutes and see what we can do from there. But it looks like price is already starting to slightly retrace, which is good for us. Yeah, so I'm going to be looking at GBP CAD buys. I'm going to be looking at EURJPY buys, possible AED JPY buys. I like how GBP New Zealand is looking. Yeah, so everything's retracing down, which is perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to see happen. GJ still showing slightly bullish, but retracing back down after hit that wall. Yeah, so I'm going to be focused on GN, GBP CAD, EURJPY. Let's see what AED-JPY is up to. Still hasn't broken this level yet, so still going to be waiting to see if it can break this level right here. And if it can, definitely going to jump in on that. Oh, that's 3 a.m. New candlestick. About to hop in these charts and see what's going on. AD New Zealand is looking interesting too. We go on the daily time frame for this. So you can see AD New Zealand is a little bit different from the other New Zealand pairs. It's been tanking. It's since got this nice level of traffic that's going to struggle to break through, but it definitely can do so. You can see, I guess all night it's just been tanking because this is the daily candlestick. So it just ripped. And I went over this yesterday, and yesterday's stream was looking for sales, but it really wasn't doing much, as you can see on the daily candlestick yesterday. Hit this lower price and retraced, but then today it just said is ready to do the move. So I might just keep an eye on this, but as we can see on the daily time frame, there is a lot of traffic that it would have to break through. It's not impossible to break through it, but you just got to keep in mind that it will be a little bit difficult, especially if there's not a lot of volume in the markets. So I like how GBP CAD is looking. So I'm definitely keep an eye on that. Euro New Zealand's pushing up. Your AD's back on that level of price. So it's right on top of this level of price. So I do like how this is looking. And then GBP has still pushing. So it's definitely going to try to break this wall right here. I wanted to see it retrace a little bit. It did a little bit, but then push right back up. I'm just going to keep an eye on that one. So while that's doing this thing, let's see what these other pairs are up to. 80 CAD is doing a nice retrace back into this level of price. Strong support resistance level here. Got a nice imbalance on the 4 hour. Might try to fill it up. It might drop down here, or it might come back up to here. So it's going to be watching and see what price is looking like it's trying to do. It looks like it's trying to drop here. Might look for a potential sell at this price. But of course, we'd like to see it try to fill up this imbalance and possibly look for entry as close to the daily time frame zone as possible. So it's going to be waiting to see what that's doing. Just going to let it do its thing. Zealand JPY. I'm going to leave that alone for now. Let's see what the daily time frame is looking like. Yeah, so all the JPY pairs are very bullish. I'm just going to leave that one alone personally. CAD JPY looking very similar to Euro JPY as well as AUD JPY. Broke above this level, retesting it. It's looking good. On top of this level of price, was actually at a very good entry as long as I can stay on top of this level of price. So I just want to wait for another green candlestick showing that it wants to come back up. Then I might look for a buy here as well. Stop loss, just have it underneath this body of price right here. Very tight stop loss. Nothing too crazy. So that's what we'll be looking for. So I'm going to keep an eye on that as well. So let's see here. Yeah, so GBPJPY didn't really retrace much. Still pushing, trying to break that level. Could jump in now. But I just know, I mean, it could break through it, but I'm waiting for like a retracement candle. But it looks like it's going to try to break through that level. So I'm just going to let it do its thing. Missed the entry by a little bit. So I'm going to see if it's going to retrace a little bit. I like how GN's looking. So I might jump in on this. Because I do like how GN's looking. All the GBP pairs are pushing right now. You can definitely break this level right here. The rejection right here. Yeah, so I'm gonna get this trade idea ready. So I do like how this is looking right here. So for this one, y'all, the SL is gonna be looking at like 98.55. Want to see if we can break this level here. If we can break this level, it can definitely come to what's this price, like 99.75, 99.80. Definitely can do so. So I'm gonna get this the signal ready for this, the TPs and SLs, so I can send it to the members and the free Telegram. Make sure to click that first link. But I do like how this is looking. Let's see what else is going on. Let's see what else is going on. Okay, Euro JPY is looking good. So if we can stay above this level, I want to see it close above this level. If we can close above this level, then I might enter. If we can close and stack above this level, then it can very much so potentially continue to go back up, and we will be able to catch some pips. So let me keep an eye on that. Yeah, your AUD just ripped through, so that's probably going to finish the move it started yesterday. Euro cash shooting up as well. So the Canadian pairs are just shooting. GJ still respecting this level. For now, GA. GBP CAD starting to retrace a little. Just going to keep an eye on that one. So got a strong wall right here. So you're going to be watching this, keep an eye on this one right here. Let me go ahead, send this disclaimer out before we send this signal out. Give me 1 second, y'all. If I could find it. All right, bet. So it's rejecting a little bit, looking good. We got about 5 minutes left to the next 15. So it's going to keep an eye on that. It's rejecting a little bit too on this one, looking nice. Let's be watching that one. Let's go back to Euro JPY. Okay, yeah, so we do have a bunch of potential things, but not going to jump in anything too quick, too early. It is just 10 minutes into London session. No reason to rush jumping into any trades. Definitely want to wait for some confirmations to see what price is trying to do. So while we're waiting for price to do its thing, let's go over USD pairs. Like I was saying, this is gold on the 4-hour, has a very strong support level here. And you can see that it's struggling to break this level. It broke above it a little bit, then dropped back down. Then you see the retest dropping back down. So that's why I'm saying the USD pairs, they did do a little bull run yesterday, but there is still, as you can see, even on the daily time frame, a very strong support level here. And you can see price has failed to break it multiple days. So got to keep that in mind. Going to be just watching the charts to see exactly what's going on there. And then same thing going on with US30, I believe. Let me see. Was it US30 or was it just gold I was looking at? So US30 is slightly bullish. Did break some lows. Didn't make a new low here. We have like a slight double bottom. I think that's what y'all would be calling those. It broke about here. We do have gaps in the indice pairs. I think there's a gap in NAS as well. We can even see the slight gap here, but you can see it even clearer when we don't on a smaller time frame. You see the gap right here. That gap's going to have to get filled up eventually. And then you can see right here when price hit this level. Let's just scroll and see if we can find what it hit this wall of traffic here, and it's rejecting. So definitely going to be watching to see what it's going to do. Wait for it to come to one of my key levels. Did get a quick buy on it yesterday. Caught about 20,000 pips here. Caught the buy here. Caught it from here to here. And then it retested multiple times. Could have got multiple entries there, but just entered once. Called it a day. So definitely is some bullish momentum going on. So just going to be watching the charts. Probably going to wait till closer to New York session to see what's going on there. Seeing where it wants to go during London session. And then might decide from there if I want to jump in on anything. We have this imbalance here that's going to have to fill. You can also see it's a very strong support resistance level on the 4-hour right here. I can put a line here. And then we can go on a smaller time frame and then see what's going on. And again, you can see it on the 4-hour time frame. Very strong support level. Strong resistance. Then we have this imbalance right here. And you can see when it hit this level, it's slightly rejecting. It's trying to stack on top of it. So it could continue to go up. So depending on what it looks like here, this is a strong support resistance level here. So it could, I might be paying attention to see how it reacts here. It could drop and reject when it hits this level of price, or it could continue to break up and make new highs. So I'm going to be watching and see what that's going to do during New York session. Then let's go to SPX, very similar. You can see the gap right here. They all had a gap yesterday, showing that it just was getting forced to shoot up, basically. So those gaps are going to have to get filled up. I'm not going to jump into anything right now. Just going to be patiently waiting. But you can see here when the 4-hour is right at a strong support resistance level, just like the other pairs. Stacking on top of this level here, so it could potentially continue to go up. But it's at this imbalance as well. So I'm just going to be watching and see what it does. And then in New York session, we'll decide if I want to do anything with it. Same thing here, 4-hour time frame, EUSDX. You can see very strong resistance level, resistance level, resistance level. You can see it rejecting multiple times from this level of price, this yellow line right here. Excuse me. US oil, I'm just going to watch US oil. Not really why I like to see it right now. Just going to be watching and see what it's doing. Keep an eye on it. Gold, same thing, going to keep an eye on it. I'm going to watch and see. I want to see we're tracing around to like 1646, 1648. See how it acts there. See if it's going to push back up or it's going to drop back down. Most likely might push back up. But on the daily time frame, we was in a downtrend. Shot up a little. But then it dropped back down. It broke underneath. Whoops. I don't even remember what I had this. I think I had it like right there. But again, we see the strong support level here. Broke above it, stacked on top of it, but failed to make a new high, dropped right underneath it. And then you see it is rejecting that level the past couple days. So very interesting to see what it's going to potentially do going into New York session. So just going to keep an eye on that, watching that as well. And that's about it for USD pairs. So I'm just going to let them do their thing. Everything is retracing harshly right now. Euro JPY still on top of this level of price, which is good, but I still want to see it break and close above this level of price before I enter anything. So just going to be letting that do its thing. Euro New Zealand continuing to push up, so just going to leave that alone. Let's see what EuroCAD's up to. Yeah, EuroCAD is at a nice position. EuroCAD's looking nice. Definitely looking nice. It's still pushing up. So let's see what GJ's up to. GJ dropped back down. We should explain why the other JPY pairs dropped down. CGN retraced a little bit. Yeah, so it's still struggling to break this level here, but it's at a good spot. So I do like how this is looking right here. It can definitely break through that level. It just hit it. It didn't close above it, but it can definitely break that level. It's definitely trying. So I do like how this is looking. So let me get this trade idea. So again, for this one, SL, I'm looking at about 98. We can say 98.50 and 98.55. And let's see here. I want to see it come up to here first. 70. Give me 1 second. I'm just getting the price targets set up. Trying to calculate it. Do that. Do that price right there. And you can hit this level. So I can see if we can break this wall right here, it can definitely come to around 99.80, 99.90. Definitely can see that happening. But after it hits that level, it could probably reject. But I couldn't definitely see it coming to 99.90. It's rejecting a little bit. Definitely see that happening though. And again, it did reject harshly here, but on the overall time frame, it is still bullish. This is a strong level of support right here. So until it breaks underneath here, breaks past this level of price around like 98.90 and continues to push down, I'm still gonna be looking for buys overall. Because again, we don't control the markets. You got to go for high probability trades and what's most likely going to happen. Of course, that means always going to happen. Things might be a little bit off, things like that. But that's where proper risk comes into play. Like I always say, right here. Give me 1 second. Not every trade is guaranteed, and that's not just my trade. It's a trades in general, trading in general. Not every trade is guaranteed to go all the way to TP or the final TP. That's why you have to risk the same percentage every trade. That way, if a loss does happen, the wins you do make will make up for it. Usually one win should make up for one loss, if not 2 losses. Because again, let's go over risk to reward. If you're risking $50 every trade, you lose one trade, that means you lost $50. And then you won another trade, and every trade you take should be at least a 1 to 2 minimum risk to reward. That means you just made $100. So off that one trade, you made up for that loss and you're up $50. Now, let's say the trade was a 1 to 3. Now you're up $100. You get what I'm saying? So that's why proper risk is definitely important. And just to go over, let's just go over how yesterday went. Took 2 L's, won the session, then took 2 W's, New York session. So again, ended the day 2-2, but my wins definitely outdid my losses. Like Euro CHF, I think it was like a 50 pip stop loss. Euro AD, I think it was same thing, 50, 80 pip stop loss. GJ caught 179 pips. US30 caught 25,000 pips. Definitely outdid my losses. And that's what's important because, again, with investing, things like that, losses do happen, losses do come, but the wins need to be bigger than the losses. All right. You want to try to win every trade, obviously, but no strategy is 100%. That's why it's very important to have a lot of rules in place, and on top of that, to stick to your trading plan. You stick to your trading plan, you consistently do the same thing every day, you're going to make profits. You're going to make profits. So just patiently waiting for some entries. I do like how GN retraced, but I want to wait for another green candlestick showing that wants to come back up. And if we can see that, then I might enter a buy. But for now, looks like a lot of things are retracing right now. So just going to be patiently waiting. Because literally everything I was looking at is starting to retrace, but retracements do happen. So just going to be waiting for those candlesticks to show me what direction it's trying to go. And then we'll go from there. GBPJPY retraced down a little bit too. Still has this wall right here. And again, still showing bullish momentum. Could try to fill this up a little bit. Wouldn't be surprised if it does that. So I'm just going to wait for 2 things. I'm going to wait for it to break it back above here, possibly look for buys, or when it comes back to around like 145.70, then might look for a buy there. That's going to be my 2 price ranges for entry. You could look for sell on the way down, but I'm personally not going to do so because, again, it is showing me strong buys right here. It's been pushing up for a long time, but again, hasn't been up here for a little while. Hasn't been up here since, can we see when? Last time it was up here was 2014, so kind of similar to GJ. GJ broke a level it hasn't been up and closed above since 2016. EJ is doing the same thing, but it's 2014. So makes sense why he's rejecting that level so harshly. And then let's just zoom in a little bit. And then we see right here, when price was up here, it did the same thing. So we couldn't see possibly a rejection down. So it just depends on what the next candlesticks look like. If it looks like it's trying to drop, there's big candlesticks pushing downwards, then we could see a slight sell, but we do have this nice imbalance. So I definitely see, even if it does drop, that when it hits here, it could potentially go back up. So I am going to still look for strictly buys unless I see, a good quick short opportunity. But for the most part, I like to follow overall direction price is going and just stick with the trend. So just going to let that do its thing. UAD hit that wall, still trying to stack up, making a nice little staircase here. Going to leave that alone though, because it's a little too far from my ideal entry. Not too pressed about that. Let's see what EuroCAD is up to. So EuroCAD shot up and now it's retesting this level. So depending on what the next candlesticks look like, might look for a buy setup here. So it's doing a nice retest. So what I want to see it do is break or close above this level right here. And if it can do so, might look for a buy, stop loss. Gonna be a nice 1 to 2, almost 1 to 3 risk reward. Gonna have the stop loss probably right where this line's at. Because we have this nice body of traffic right here to use as a cushion. And you see right here, prices respecting this level. You can see the past 45 minutes, prices really respected this level of price right here. If we zoom in, you can see from these wicks, it broke above, closed underneath, then it broke above, closed on top. Now it's retesting, and I want to see if it can close back above here and, end with the green candlestick showing that wants to push back up. Because if it can do so, then we can definitely at least hit 35.30, if not where it previously hit right here, which is 35.25, which is still a good amount of pips. That's 20 to 30 pips right there. So definitely still a good amount of money. So just been patiently watching that to see what's going on there. And let's see what's going on with GJ. Okay, so GJ pushed down. It's respecting this body of price. You see it literally hit my stop loss ID and it's pushing back up. So it's definitely respecting that level. But I want to see if it's going to push back down to this zone here or if it's going to push back up. Looks like it's trying to go back up. But again, going to just keep waiting and see what's going on there. GBP New Zealand, retracing back down. Finally seeing retracement candle, which is not terrible for us. That's actually good for us. That way we can get a better entry. Still respecting this level of price. Still hasn't hit the bottom of the zone. You see it's trying to come back up. So we got about 2 minutes left to the next 15-minute candlestick. Going to see what this candlestick looks like and then determine from there if we're going to enter anything. But so far, just watching. GBPJPY, respecting this level too. See what's going on. Got a nice wall right here. So we're going to break that wall and stay above that wall. Might look for a buy. We do have a few walls here. We have this wall here on this orange line, then this yellow line. We have this wall here. So we can break above that wall and stay on top of it. It can definitely come to this level price here. And then when it comes there, it can either reject that or continue to break through it. So just going to keep an eye on that and see what's going on. But for the most part, bigger time frame wise, is showing me slight buys. You see the past few days been pushing up, hasn't really made any new lows, but it has struggled to break past this level of price right here, which we do have to keep in mind. But it is definitely respecting this level still, which is a strong resistance. Strong resistance be a strong support. You can see that very clearly. Price closed underneath here, and you see price is closed above it day after day. And you can see even today, when it hit this level, it harshly started to shoot back up. So showing that still respecting this level as a support level. So just gonna be watching this to see what the next candlesticks look like. Got about 50 seconds. GBPCAD looking good. I like how GBPCAD is looking too, mainly because it's respecting this wall right here. Hasn't broke underneath it yet. Could put a tight stop loss. But I do want to keep these candlesticks in mind right there. But I do definitely like how it's looking. Got this wall of price to hit right here. Where if we come to it, that's about 20 pips. So we got the new candlesticks. So let's see what these new candlesticks look like. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, so price is pushing back up. Had a nice rejection wick on EURJPY as well. So just gonna let these do their thing. Definitely like how I was looking. 80 JPY is still struggling to break this level here though. Let's go on a smaller time frame, see what's going on. Has a strong wall just like EURJPY and GJ. And you can see it's doing the same thing. Had a rejection wick, is pushing back up. So I'm just going to patiently wait to see if it can break this level and then look for a buy. But it is doing the same thing as GJ and EJ. So CAD's doing. Yeah, I'm just be patiently waiting for this. Nothing's really making a move yet. But then again, we're just 30 minutes into London, so not tripping too much about that. Ceiling cap pushing up. And the CAD JPY looking just like GJ and EJ as well. So I am definitely looking at the JPY pairs. I do like how they're looking. Still not going to jump into anything too soon. Still want to see it break past this wall because it's cool, it's respecting this level. But those that see my previous live streams, or if you're new to this live stream, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're almost at 200 subs. But like I always say, when price hits these levels, it's either going to reject or break through. So always keep an eye on your charts. And that's just, whoops, let me fix that. There we go. And that's what we see all the time. Like it hit this level, right? Price hit this level, then rejected, right? But it's hit this level and it's respecting it as support and it's trying to break through it now. Okay, that's all price does. Even right here, when price first hit this daily zone, you see the rejection wicks, price rejected. Let me zoom in so y'all can see what I'm talking about. You see it hit this level, rejected, then eventually broke through. Then you see it retested and pushed up. So we see first a rejection, then it broke through, then it retested, then continued to go up. And that's all price does. That's all price does. No matter what time frame you look on, price is doing the same thing. That's all price does. So I like how it's looking. I want to see it break this level, but if I want to do more aggressive entry, got this wall of price right here. So maybe if it closes above here. Let's see what else is going on. GN struggling still a little bit. Definitely trying though. Hasn't really gone anywhere, but you can see it's still trying to push up. So definitely trying. Just going to wait for volume to pick up. And again, it makes sense. It's this level of traffic. It's literally stuck underneath this wall right here. You see these two candlesticks right here. If I put a line right here and then we go back to the left, you'll see price is literally stuck underneath this level trying to break it. And look right there. See? And again, like I said, this is all price does. You can see the wick, price hit it, rejected, price hit it, rejected, closed underneath it, price closed right on top of it, two candlesticks in a row, and you see this candlestick is struggling to break it, but it's definitely trying to do so. So it's definitely possible. So just waiting for price to do it, and there it goes. I do like how this is looking. Do like how this is looking. Let's see here. I want to see it close above here though, because as you can see, the past candlesticks have closed underneath it. So if it can close above here and it shows it wants to continue to push up, definitely might enter, because even from right here, if it goes back to this level where it rejected, that is about 20 pips, which isn't bad. Who's going to complain about 20 pips, right? So we got about 8 minutes left until this candlestick in the next 15. So just going to be patiently watching and waiting for that. But if it can close above here and it shows that it wants to continue to push up, definitely might enter. Then look right here, we see Euro JPY, hit this level of price, rejected it, but we still got this wall right here, so it could potentially try to continue to push up. But again, like I always say, this is all price does. You just have to identify these levels. And once you're able to identify these levels, then you just got to determine which levels to enter and exit trades off of, and then you'll be straight. US30 struggling to break this level right here. Again, I'm not going to really enter this. I want to see. Still got this gap to refill, so it's going to have to retrace at some point. But again, that gap could get filled today. You could fill later on this week. It's not really a set time on it, but gaps and imbalances always get filled up. It is an unwritten rule. Well, it's probably written somewhere, but literally gaps have to get filled up. I'm trying to find another one because we had a gap last week. Here it is. We can even see this gap right here, right? Gap, shot down. Look what happened. Price came back up, filled it up. And look what happened after price filled it up. Then it dropped. Not a coincidence. So that's what I want to see happen with this gap right here. I want to see price come to fill it up. And then when it comes to fill it up, it could shoot back up. So if it does fill it up, we can get a good buy entry right at the zone right here. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. So gonna let price do its thing until New York. Don't really got any red folder news if I'm not mistaken, but we can just double check that right now. I'm pretty sure today is going to be a pretty clean day. Just going to be having to patiently wait for the right setups. So yeah, let me just make sure it's on my time, so I'm not telling anybody the wrong things. So let's just refresh that. Bam, bam, bam. All right, so yesterday's Tuesday the 18th. Nothing really going on. We got some slight news, but nothing high impact. So just gonna be strictly waiting for the right setups and then going from there. Okay, Eurocads sitting on top of this wall right here, looking good. Looking good. JPY definitely trying. Just gonna wait. Probably won't make his move to New York like like yesterday, which isn't a problem. Because some days, you might have some moves and opportunities going into London, like your AUD, but this move kind of happened a little bit before London. But some moves don't really happen into New York, or some moves don't completely finish or start into New York. So not really tripping there. But I still like to be up during London session because we do sometimes, especially in the middle of the week, find some opportunities to catch some pips. So that's what I'm waiting on right now to see if we can do so. GN's looking good. Let's see what GA is up to. GBPJPY's right underneath this wall right here. And you can literally see from this orange line, this level of traffic here, this level of traffic here. And you can see price trying to hit it and it's rejecting, but it is stacking on top of this level of price. So it can definitely try to break through this. And if it can break through this wall and stack on top of it, it can definitely, it would have a little struggle here. Have a little struggle here, but can definitely come to this level of price here, which is a good amount of pips. So then we have a nice little wall right here to use as a cushion and support. So definitely going to be looking for a buy setup if the candlesticks show me it. Then I'm going to put the stop loss right underneath this level of price right here. Give me some nice 1 to 4. Well, if we trade right here, almost 1 to 3 risk to reward, which still isn't bad. So we're going to keep an eye on that as well. So I'm going to be looking for GN buys. Going to be looking for JPY buys. Going to be looking for GBP CAD buys potentially. GBPCHF if I like what I see. And then, when New York session comes, going to see what those USD pairs are looking like. But also got to keep in mind that AUD New Zealand is still tanking as we speak. It's been tanking for literally, as you can see, hours. So definitely got to keep that in mind. Missed the retest, and it looks like it's still trying to drop. So let's see if that's affecting the other New Zealand pairs. Nope, this one's still pushing up. So we got 2 minutes left. Going to see if we can close above here, and if we can do so, definitely going to be looking for a buy setup. And it's shooting up right now, which is a good sign. But unless it does some crazy candlestick that just pushes things up like this, I can wait a minute and a half. So just going to be patiently waiting to see what that's going to be doing. And then we're going to go from there. GJ pushing back up as well. So let's see what Euro JPY is up to. Okay, Euro JPY looking good too. Let's see what AUD JPY is up to. Yeah, I still personally want to see a break above this level. I still want to see it personally break above this level. CAD, JPY, looking good too. Now I might not jump into all these JPY pairs, but if I do miss one pair or something like that, these are correlating pairs that I can definitely jump into because they all won't make the same moves. They're all different pips, amounts, like, they're all different price ranges, things like that. So you definitely have to keep that in mind. And they are all paired with different currency pairs, which is another thing you have to keep in mind. So they're not going to all move exactly the same. And that goes with like US30 NAS100, GBPJPY, SPX as well. They're not going to all move the same. So US30, treating this level as a support and it's pushing up. So I want to see how price reacts here, because you're going to hit here, rejected, and then we go to the left, we can most likely see why. Huge level of traffic right here. So definitely just going to be watching and seeing what it's doing. But unless the bias changes, I definitely might be looking for some buys, depending on what things look like. And here's another good example of a gap right here. Okay, let me pull this up and zoom in for you. You see this clear gap here. Price got forced down. Then you see right here, price came, retraced, filled it up, filled up the gap. Hold on, let me put it. Filled up the gap, right? Filled it up. Then what happened after filled up the gap? Then it dropped. Okay, red gaps, gaps pushing down, they're going to retrace up, they're going to drop, gaps pushing up, it's going to retrace down, then shoot back up. We see it happen here, right? And then we saw it happen with wasn't there another gap? Then we see it with this gap here, right? Red gap, candle filled it up, then shot down. This gap right here, filled it up, then shot down. Then we see it right here. I actually caught a sell off this. I updated my levels, but I caught a sell right where this gap is. So you see this gap here, got filled up, dropped. Then you see this gap here, got filled up, dropped. So again, gaps are going to have to get filled up, and you can use those. Of course, wait for confirmations to show price is going to jump back down, but you can definitely use those as entry points to catch a few more pips. That's for sure. And I think I just saw another gap. We have a slight gap here. Not as big as those other ones. Yeah, so I'm going to wait, see what's happening there. I'm just going to patiently wait in between two zone levels. So it's going to patiently wait and see what price got in store for us. But for the most part, just going to be patiently waiting. Price isn't really doing much as of now. But we are an hour into London, so price did close above here. So I do like how this is looking. It can definitely push up some. So let me go ahead and get this signal ready. And like I said, if you don't see what I see, you don't have to enter. But I definitely do see it potentially coming back up to this wall. And from this wall from there, that's about what's retracing now. So that's almost 20 pips. 20 pips isn't bad. And then, like I always say, they're transitioning into London to New York. It's either going to enforce the move or it's going to retrace and switch. So not every TV is going to get hit, but I definitely do see potentially 20 pips minimum we can catch right here. So I do like how it's looking. Definitely see potentially 20 pips being caught. So from the entry right here, it's about to be almost 1 to 1, 1 to 2. But from the entry here, it'll be about a 1 to 3. But I do like how this is looking right here. So I might enter this. It's retracing a little bit. I do like how this is looking here. just a lot of level of traffic, and the volume is not that high right now, but it is Tuesday. So Wednesday and Thursday, I definitely do see London session looking a little bit better. But of course, just depends on where prices are at, what happens today during New York session as well, things like that. But it broke above, it's still closing, it's retracing. So I'm just waiting to see if it's going to retrace some more. That's all I'm doing, but I do like how it's looking. But I'm just waiting to see if it's going to retrace some more. While that's doing that, let's look at these other pairs. See what's going on. GJ trying to come back up. EJ still on this level here, right on top of this wall. So we'll be patiently watching these pairs. GPCHF looking nice. GCAD. Yeah, so I can definitely see GCAD. If we can break this wall, it can definitely continue to go up. So those watching the stream, definitely seeing this GBPJPY potentially can break up and continue, depending what the next candlesticks look like. You already know my bias on the JPY pairs. GN. It's definitely struggling. The price is definitely struggling right here. Give me 1 second, y'all. Yeah, yeah, but I definitely see it's struggling, but you can see it's on top of this price now, which is why I said I wanted to see it do. So instead of closing underneath it like the past hour, now it's on top, and you see it's trying to push back up. So I definitely do like what I see here. Yeah, I do like what I see here. It's definitely rejecting off this level. Definitely like what I see here. Copy. Let's see here. Yeah, so I can definitely at least come to here. I can definitely see it at least come to here. When it comes to here, it's either going to reject or it can continue to break through. But like I said, from right here to here, that's about 20 pips, which is not bad for London session. Let's just zoom out. Do have a lot of levels of traffic, but it's on top of this level, which is important. So let me just stay above that level. That's what we need. Let's look at the 5 minute, take a closer look. So we got about 3 minutes to the next 5 minutes. So I want to see what this next 5 minutes looking like. But I do like how it's looking right here on the 5 minute time frame. So just me watching this. Do like how it's looking though. But I want to see it stay above. GC still trying as well. Stay above this level. Let's go on the 5 minute, take a closer look. Nope, still underneath it. So just gonna be patiently waiting for that. GJ trying to push back up, doing this thing. Let's probably look at something else. What's about to pull up? JPY. AD cash still respecting this level, pushing down slightly. But I'm going to leave this alone probably till New York session as well, because that's probably when it's going to start to make its move around 6 o'clock. I wouldn't be surprised if around 6 o'clock is when Canadian and USD pairs want to start doing something. So just going to be watching these. AJ still trying. EDUSD is on the wall right there. Yeah, it's definitely struggling right now. It's trying, but it's still struggling. But it's a good sign that it's still trying to go up. So I might just have to wait for volume to pick up a little bit. Yeah, so I might be waiting till, again, we're just an hour into London, so I might be waiting another hour or two, or I might just wait till closer to New York session. But as of now, I am looking for buys for GN until it shows me otherwise. It is showing a nice little staircase down for a little bit, but when you look on the bigger time frame, you can kind of see what's going on. That's just a rejection, but do have to keep in mind that it did reject harshly time frame, like we can see right here. This entire daily candlestick and broke through this zone and came all the way down to another zone. So we do have to keep that in mind, but that could just be potentially a lower high because as you can see on the bigger time frame, when we zoom out, very much so is bullish. Hasn't really made any lows since this huge rejection wick from September 26th. And ever since then, after that huge rejection wick, it's been just shooting up. Came up here, did a nice retracement, lower high, did a little bobbing action here, then broke through, hit this level, tried multiple times, then rejected down. So it could very much so potentially come back up. So that's what we'll be looking for. Just patiently waiting for confirmations and for the ideal setup for me. I like how these pairs are looking though. Your AD retraced a little bit. Yeah, but it seems like right now volume is not very high into London session. Looks like prices showing hints of what it wants to do, but it's not enough volume to make a move yet. Saw a few candlesticks push up and break levels, but as you can see, a lot of retracing and a lot of strugglings going on the charts, which isn't abnormal. But again, some days volume might be pumping. We might be able to catch some plays. Obviously, that's usually later into the week. So I'm not going to be jumping into anything until my requirements are met. But I do like how this is looking here. It's definitely showing us to push up. And the JPY pairs are pushing. We're going to break this level 2. Yes, I like how these are looking right here. So we're going to see what the next candlestick looks like. This ended up doing exactly what the last candlestick did, but I want to see if it will close above it. Still got 2 minutes left to see if it can do that. So definitely going to see if it can. But the JPY pairs are looking good. Has a slight wall right here that you can see it's kind of rejecting. Slight wall right there. And let's zoom in and see if price is going to do what it usually does when it hits these levels. So it's touching it, hasn't broken past it. Let's go into 5 minutes so you can kind of see it more clearly. So you literally see the wall I just labeled. You can see it a little bit clearly now in the 5 minute. So it's breaking above it, but at first it was struggling to do so. So that is a good sign that it's breaking above it. But you can see this slight rejection wick is definitely struggling to break that level. But if you can stay above that, that's definitely a good sign. Definitely a good sign. Euro CAD just broke that level. Gonna wait for the next candlestick to see what it's looking like though. I do like how Euro CAD is looking too. Yep, so we're gonna be waiting. Got about 5 seconds left. I do like how this is looking too. Okay, closed above it. Okay. Nice rejection wick up. I like this. So yeah, I'm gonna enter GN. It's struggling though. Could be a pretty early entry. I'm personally gonna enter this. I can see it pushing up. So I like how GN is looking. GJ broke above this level. GJ definitely tempting right here. I do kind of like how this looks. It's stacking on top of this level of price. And when you see this formation, it can stack on top and then potentially push up. There's a wall right here, but that is 30 pips away. There's a slight wall here too, which I'm slightly concerned about, but it looks like it's not really caring about that wall right there. So I do like how this is looking too. There's a lot of things that I like how they're looking. GJ is very tempting. JPY. Let's see what JPY is up to. JPY is right here. Trying to push up. Yeah, so I like how these JPY pairs are looking. So I might just leave GN alone and just look at these JPY pairs. Do like how these are looking right here. Let's go back to Euro CAD. Still underneath this wall right here. Yeah, it's definitely going to try to break that wall right there. GBPJPY broke that level. 12.7. 9 pips right there. So this is definitely showing trying to push up. Made a nice little staircase here. Made a nice little support. So I like how this is looking. So I might jump into this right here. Yeah, so I like how all these are looking right here. Not gonna lie. So I'm in GN. Definitely gonna see if we can break that level. It's definitely trying. I want to see if we can hit at least the first TP. GPCHF. It's got a nice support level right here. Definitely like how that's looking. GJ. Definitely like how this is looking right here. It's got a slight wall right here, but it's made a strong support level right here. Got a strong support level right here. Then it made a strong one right here as well. It's got a slight wall, but if we can break through this, it can definitely come to here which is almost 20 pips. And then if you can break that level, it can definitely come to this yellow line, which is about 30 pips, which is not bad. So I'm going to keep an eye on it. Got about 1 minute, not 1 minute, 20 seconds till the next 5-minute candlestick comes out. So let's see what that candlestick looks like. I do like how that's looking right there. GN's definitely trying, struggling, but it's definitely trying. GJ retesting. New 5-minute about to come out for GJ. See what that looks like. Yeah, so there's a strong support level here, and it just broke on above it, and it's on top of it. So if we can stay above here, it can definitely continue up. It can definitely hit around 169.20-ish, which is 20 pips, which isn't bad. But if we can break that level, it can definitely come to like 169.30, 169.35, which is 30 pips. So it can definitely, it can definitely come to right here, but we got to go step by step. So if we can break this level and stack on top of this support level, it can definitely continue to push up. That is for sure. But going to be patiently waiting. I am in GN though. It is trying to push up. Since it's strictly for the members only, but like I said, went over it on the stream. 98.55 is the stop loss. I want to see it hit 98.50. I want to see if we can hit 98.50. Then I'm haven't pulled the trigger on the JPY pairs. Want to wait a little bit longer for confirmations, but I do definitely see it coming to at least 169.35, 169.30. That's for sure. I definitely do see that. Here. Yeah, I like how this is looking. Yeah. Getting the signal ready for this. Definitely I like how this is looking. So I'm going to get the signal ready for this. Going to be looking at Euro JPY as well as CAD JPY. Still in wait for those confirmations there. Only in GN currently. GN is pushing. We're about 7 pips away from the first TP, but those that entered should be blue. GJ might enter this one soon. EuroCAD. I like how EuroCAD is looking as well. I do like how EuroCAD is looking. EuroCAD can definitely come to 35.30. Definitely come to 35.30 range. It's on a nice level of support right here, and it's respecting it. So I do like that. Stop loss for EuroCAD, I'm looking at 34.80. So not too big of a stop loss. But I do like how it's looking. Got 6 minutes until the next 15. So I might just wait until then to enter it. But I am about to get all these trade ideas written down and ready for the members so they can look at this, look at the charts as well and be prepared for it. But again, I am slightly blue on GN. Still hasn't hit the first TP though. Still gonna hold till SL TP gets hit. I'm gonna keep an eye on GBPJPY as well. And then in New York session, gonna be looking at the USD pairs, seeing how they react to these levels. Looks like gold's trying to retest this level again. It looks like it already did touch it. Let's go on a smaller time frame. Yeah, so as you can see, it touched this level of resistance, then rejected back down. Looks like it's going to try to reattempt this on this level of support on the 15-minute time frame. But for now, just going to leave it alone and let it do its thing. But yeah, that's about it. Make sure to join the free Telegram. Your AUD is right back to our entry from yesterday. Tempted to enter this, but I'm going to just leave that alone. I got some other pairs that I'm looking at. So we got 5 minutes left until this candlestick's close and new candlesticks start. So I'm going to watch and see what that does. Oh, I think we almost hit TP1. Let me see. We're close to TP1. Let's see. Let me pull up the chart. We're about 5 pips away from TP1. Well, 3 pips on here. So about 3 pips away from TP1. 2 pips, 1 pip. TP1 just got hit. Make sure to hit that like button, y'all. If y'all enter this trade, make sure to hit that like button. We just caught 10 pips, 10 plus pips. So that's a good sign. Let's see what GJ is up to. GJ, yeah, so definitely like how these are looking. So yeah, I'm about to get these trade ideas written up for the members. Make sure you click that first link, join the free Telegram. Make sure to subscribe, hit that bell so you're notified when new videos are uploaded. We live stream every morning. London session 2:30 a.m. and then we have New York session live streams, about 3 to 4 of those for members only strictly. So links are all in that. Links are all in the description. If you're interested in mentorships, anything like that, or if you just want to be notified every time I enter a trade, links are down there as well. If you're interested in learning how to read these candlesticks, I do have a video titled How to Read Candlesticks, very in detail. Yeah, GJ is making the move right now, very in detail and in depth, straight to the point, less than 10 minutes long. Highly recommend checking that out. And GJ's already starting to make the move. So I'm about to get these trade ideas ready for the members, and I'm going to see y'all in tomorrow's live stream. Okay, I do see a few people just jumped in, so let me just give a rundown real quick. We're in GN. We're up 10 plus pips. Just entered GJ. About to get the signal ready for this. Looking at the Euro JPY as well as CAD JPY and AUD JPY buys. Haven't entered those yet. Might be entering them soon though, but GJ is the only one that I kind of like what it's looking like. And then for the USD pairs, there are very strong support resistance levels. So we're going to see how they react to those during New York session. And then we're going to go from there. But looking at GJ, looking at Euro CAD, GBP CAD as well. And yeah, that's about it. Make sure to hit that like button. I'll see you on the next stream.